Nutrition. This is a common term that you must have heard from your mother several times a day. Especially when you sit on the dining table and eat something, your mother keeps nagging you. Please eat this, this is nutritious for you. Please don't eat this, this is not nutritious for you. And the surprising thing is, whatever she gives you in the name of nutritious food might not taste good. And the things that you love to eat because they taste good are not nutritious according to her. Now, what should be done about this? The best thing is you must try and understand the process of nutrition well, and then you must come to a common solution where the food tastes good and secondly it also is nutritious. But for that you need to understand what exactly is nutrition, what are the various options of nutrition for you. So let us try and understand the process of nutrition, what are the various ways organisms can get nutrients and what are the various sources of nutrition to use so that you can decide upon your food better. Nutrition actually is the process by which the body collects energy and raw materials from the environment and utilizes them. In the environment, the substances that are richly supplied with the required nutrients and energy-rich substances, they are identified as food. Now, the way food is collected from the environment, on the basis of that, system of nutrition has been classified into two categories. The very first category is autotrophic nutrition and the second category is of heterotrophic nutrition. Now let us try and understand these terms, autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. These two terms, autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition, are the terms that will help you to understand how these particular organisms collect their food from the environment. If you talk about autotrophic organisms, these organisms, instead of collecting whatever is available in the environment, they will synthesize what they exactly need. Using the raw materials like sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, they are going to synthesize exactly what they require. And this process of synthesis of the required food is known as photosynthesis. You might be very familiar with this term, photosynthesis, that is synthesis of its food in the presence of light with the help of carbon dioxide and water. Right? So the mode of nutrition in which the organism synthesizes its own food is known as autotrophic mode of nutrition, and almost all the plants in the world are autotrophs. That means to say that they synthesize their own food. Now let us move on to heterotrophic mode of nutrition, the mode of nutrition in which nutrients are obtained from their surroundings. Whatever is available in the surroundings which are richly supplied with the nutrients and raw materials required, they will be utilized as food to get nutrients and energy. Now heterotrophic nutrition, if you see, is a mode of nutrition in which organism has to obtain its food from the surroundings. Now examples of the organisms that obtain food in this manner are lion and squirrel, including us. All the animals that surround us are known to be heterotrophic in nature. So basically, if we sum up these two processes together, then first the autotrophic mode of nutrition will help in trapping the solar energy by the process of photosynthesis into chemical energy of starch. Then this starch will be a source of energy for autotrophic organisms, as well as the stored starch is going to be a source of energy to the heterotrophic organisms. So in all, autotrophic organisms are a source of food to the complete heterotrophic world. On the basis of how food is made available to the organisms have been classified as autotrophs and heterotrophs. Now let us try and understand what exactly this term food means. Food refers to all those substances present in the environment that possess the required nutrients. All those substances that have abundance of nutrients are termed as right? Now, if you look at this is food. Again, if you look at this, such a yummy plate of food. Then there's a deer. This is a consumer that may consume the two types of food that are available on the screen. Then if you look at this is a lion. Deer is a food to lion. And then if you talk about this, out of all the items available on the screen, this is the only item that can act as food to man, right? And the food that can be supplied to the man cannot supply the required nutrients to the deer or cannot supply the required nutrients to the lion. So organisms are specific for their food according to their digestibility in their system. Now, like if you talk about grass is a source of food to deer but cannot act as a source of food to man, or it cannot act as a source of food to lion. The reason behind is accessibility of nutrients. So food should contain the required nutrients. Required nutrients are present here, they are also present here, they are also present here. But then the problem is the nutrients present in the first two food items may not be accessible to the lion. Same goes with man also. The nutrients present in grass may not be accessible to man. So one thing, the food must have the required nutrients, and secondly, it must be having the nutrients in accessible form. This is very, very important. Autotrophs are more appropriately called as producers. Why they are called as producers? Because they produce food for the complete living system. Now, for producing food, they require a source of energy which can be converted into chemical energy of starch. In case the source of energy is light, then they are known as photoautotrophs, and in case if the source of energy is chemicals, it is known as chemoautotrophy, and the organisms are called as chemoautotrophs. Like all the plants that are seen around us trap solar energy for synthesis of starch, and solar energy is the form of energy that is known to be light. That is the reason why all these plants around us are known as photoautotrophs. There are certain lower organisms, certain bacteria that help in synthesis of food with the help of breakdown of certain chemicals. That means to say that the source of energy to them is chemicals, and such organisms are known as chemoautotrophs because the source of energy that they are utilizing is chemicals, right? And the best example is chemosynthetic bacteria. Now coming on to heterotrophs, they are more appropriately called as consumers. Like producers were producing food, consumers are consuming it. And all the heterotrophs most appropriately can be called as consumers because they are consuming the food that is being produced by the producers or autotrophs. Now in case if they directly depend upon the food that is produced by the producers, they are known as primary consumers. Like all herbivorous organisms directly eat whatever is produced by the producers. So they are known to be primary consumers. Now if you talk about lions, tigers, all these carnivorous organisms, they do not directly depend upon the food produced by the producers. But yes, they depend upon the herbivorous organisms for their food, and herbivores in turn get their nutrition from producers. So indirectly, if you see, these carnivorous organisms also depend on producers for their food, but they do not directly depend upon producers, and that is the reason why they are known as secondary consumers. So primary consumers directly obtain food from producers, and secondary consumers will indirectly obtain their food from the environment, from the producers, right? Now there is yet another class of heterotrophic organisms called as decomposers. Decomposers are the organisms that will decompose the dead and decaying organic matter produced by autotrophs as well as heterotrophs. We all must have learnt about in our previous grades that they help as natural sweepers. So are they providing some free social services to us? Not at all. What they're trying to do is, by decomposing this in these organic matter, they are trying to obtain food for themselves. They are not rendering any kind of social services for cleaning the environment. They are, by decomposing, they are just trying to obtain nutrients for them. The way they decompose the substances, on the basis of that, they can be called as detrivores or they can be called as saprophytes. Right? So I hope nutrition was clear to you all, the process of nutrition and the various modes of nutrition. Now it is up to you to decide how to obtain best nutrients for getting proper nutritious food. Thank you.